At the beginning of the film, we hear Jason's story. The boy has been sitting on the bench for 4 hours, not sure what to do. Jason decides to go back to the beginning of the story to clear things up. The guy says that in any relationship, there comes a critical moment when everything falls apart, and he used to call it with the word "so." Jason was once dumped for drinking coffee out of a cereal bowl and also sleeping on the floor. Soon, the boy meets up with his friends at a cafe. Mike shares the shocking news that his wife wants a divorce. Jason's friend, Daniel, decides to make a joke about his spouse's new boyfriend, but then realizes it's not quite the right moment for his humor. After the conversation, Jason and his friend head off to work. On the way to the office, Daniel suggests that the guy find Mike a one-night stand for a girl he read about in a magazine. Jason is amused that his friend easily believes everything written in the yellow press. Soon the friends go to the cover presentation of a new book called The Unexpected Princess. Jason and his friend present a blank sheet, motivating their decision by the fact that right now, they will create the perfect cover in front of everyone's eyes. The guy puts the title of the book at the bottom and draws a pair of women's shoes on top, because this image will literally explode the imagination of female readers. In the evening, Jason is spending time with his friend, when, along with belongings, Mike shows up. After his shift, the doctor stops by the house and picks up his belongings and buys a big packing of ice cream. Daniel throws the sweetness out the window and suggests they hang out at the bar. Mike has strange feelings but agrees. Daniel and Jason are having a great time meeting cute girls. Mike, on the other hand, is sitting on the couch and looking around, as if he doesn't know what he's doing here. Jason encourages the doctor, reminding him of how in his second year, he'd hit on almost all the freshman girls. Mike perks up a bit and notices a pretty blonde sitting behind the bar. Jason also finds her cute and decides to take a chance on her. Mike, meanwhile, is chatting with a nice brunette who gives him her phone number. Jason manages to get acquainted with a blonde girl by taking her away from another guy. Soon, the couple goes to the girl's house, where they stay alone. When the girl falls asleep, Jason suddenly notices strange similarities in her outfit and belongings to the description of ladies working at night, like from the magazine that a friend read to him in the morning. The guy panics and calls Daniel, from whom he asks for advice. The mate suggests Jason pretend to be a guy who also works nights for the girls, so that a so-called barter can take place. The guy says that Daniel is no use to him, after which he returns to the bedroom. Jason takes his things and sneaks out of the flat. In the afternoon, the guy is having a drink with Daniel when a doctor visits them. At the bar, the friends banter with Jason, as their friend literally robbed a girl without leaving her any money for the night. Mike talks about how he wants to call his wife to take it all back. The friends discourage the doctor, explaining that he should enjoy a free life, because by the time they are 30, they will all have families and start boring lives. The mates agree not to get into serious relationships, but just go to bars and look for a nice one-night stand. Meanwhile, the very girl Jason spent the night with comes to the publishing agency. Ellie presents her book and hopes to get it published. Jason walks into the office and is speechless when he sees the same girl from the bar. Soon, Ellie offers to talk to the guy and asks why he ran away from her during the night. Jason explains that he mistook her for a girl who works nights for men. Ellie reveals that the signs the guy noticed have a completely different explanation. Jason wants to make amends, and the girl gives him her phone number. By looking at the sheet, the guy sees that instead of a number, Ellie has left him a caustic wish to go to the arse. Mike is browsing the brunette's profile while working when his wife suddenly walks into his office. The doctor realizes the woman has asked for help, but she insists she's been thinking about him a lot. In the evening, Ellie finds a box outside the house with a cute drawing from Jason. The couple decides to meet again at a cafe to talk things over. Jason spends the whole evening with the girl, and she kisses him on the cheek as she says goodbye. Daniel, meanwhile, sits at the bar again, chatting with another pretty girl. At night, a mate decides to go to her with a pizza. Chelsea invites Daniel over to her place, and they have a great time. Jason also returns home, and, not to be sad, finds himself another lady for one night. In the morning, the guy is cuddling with the girl when Mike unexpectedly walks into the room. The girl easily handles the awkward situation and soon leaves, saying that she likes the doctor better than Jason. Daniel meets up with the guy and tells him that the night with Chelsea was just magical. The mates have big plans for the day. Mike is going to meet his wife at work, Jason is going to date Ellie in the park, and Daniel wants to go to Chelsea's again. Jason, along with his girlfriend, decides to check out a rather exquisite house in the center of town. The guy steals the keys to the gate that leads to the park, and then he and Chelsea escape through the window, leaving the realtor puzzled. Mike, meanwhile, meets up with his wife, who looks extremely freaked out by his message. When the woman says she lacks spontaneity, the doctor initiates a passionate kiss. At night, Jason sneaks into the very same park with his girlfriend, and then gives her the keys. The couple is alone together, and Ellie laughingly says that she wanted to make the guy suffer without it for at least 40 days. In the evening, Jason invites the girl over to his place, hiding it from his friends. At first, Mike and Daniel are not happy about this visit, but after a couple of hours, they themselves don't want to let Ellie go home. When the girl leaves, the friends jokingly remind Jason that he almost broke their agreement not to get into a relationship. The next day, at the bar, the friends spend time with Rachel. Daniel has an opportunity to meet a beautiful girl, but he misses it. Mike continues to see his wife in secret, but lies to his friends that he is seeing the brunette from the bar. Ellie invites the guy to her birthday party and warns him that he will have to wear a suit. Jason shows up in a rather extravagant outfit, which shocks the girl's parents. However, after drinking, they treat Jason sympathetically. Daniel, meanwhile, lies to Chelsea that he told his friends about their relationship. After the party, Jason helps the girl with the cleaning, after which they dance. Mike continues his relationship with his wife. At the bar, the friends notice the doctor's happy look. They think he finally got the brunette into bed, and that's why he's so glowing. Mike continues to lie about the brunette, afraid his friends will judge him for going back to his wife. Soon, a call from Ellie shows up on his phone. The guy doesn't want to answer, but Daniel forces him to pick up the phone. The crying girl tells him that her father has passed away. The friends say that Jason must visit and support her. Thanksgiving soon arrives. Mike sets the table and goes to his wife's wardrobe, where he finds her lover's jacket. At the table, the doctor creates his wife a scandal, asking why she is doing this to him. Meanwhile, Daniel visits his girlfriend with a bouquet of flowers. However, Jason's mate gives the bouquet to her grandmother, and then jokes that with her, he could make the same beautiful girl. Jason himself, meanwhile, sits at home and calls his family. Mike asks his wife to confess what she's been hiding so carefully. The woman says that she no longer loves him, after which the upset doctor leaves. Ellie is really looking forward to seeing her boyfriend at her father's funeral. However, Jason makes a strange decision and goes to Chelsea's house for the celebration instead. Mike is also heading there as well. Jason finds his mate in the bathroom with Chelsea. The truth comes out. Daniel hid his relationship from his friends, which is a big downer in Jason's eyes. Mike appears in the bathroom and admits that he has been trying to reconcile with his wife all this time. Jason reprimands him and reminds him that the woman cheated on him. A scuffle ensues. Jason shouts that he is going back to his old carefree life, but without his friends. At work, the guy often falls into melancholy and almost doesn't communicate with Jason. One day, Jason meets Ellie and offers her a coffee. The girl refuses because Jason didn't support her when she really needed him. Ellie gives the guy back the keys to the garden and then silently leaves. Jason decides to spend the night with another girl, but realizes he doesn't need it. The next day, the guy makes up with Mike. At the cafe, Jason talks to his mate and convinces him to apologize to Chelsea to patch things up. An overjoyed Daniel runs across the road, but is hit by a taxi. The mate soon finds himself in hospital with his friends. Chelsea visits Daniel in the hospital and accepts his apology. The couple reconcile and get back into a relationship. Jason observes the kiss longingly, and Mike finally calls the brunette and sets up a date with her. 2 months pass. Jason revisits photos of his ex-girlfriend and realizes that he misses her madly. However, the guy realizes that he has hurt Ellie because the basis of any relationship is support, which he didn't give her at a very difficult moment. Jason studies his ex photos and starts looking for her boyfriends. This makes Jason's mood drop even more because they all look quite interesting and confident. Together with his friends, the guy goes to an event that Ellie is organizing. Jason pretends to be reading a book, though he's actually replaying their first conversation at the bar. The guy says that he would give anything to go back in time and correct his mistakes for the sake of being with Ellie again and telling her that he loves her. Jason apologizes for leaving when he was really needed. The guy swears he's realized his mistake. Ellie is correct when she says that the foundation of any relationship is support during difficult times in life. Jason apologizes to the girl and says she knows where to find him. Just as the film begins, the guy is sitting on a bench when Ellie approaches him. The couple finally reconcile and plan to keep their love for years to come. This is the end of the film. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this film, and see you in new videos.